No guitar sound. Huh. Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice right now? You should certainly be hearing guitar because you should. Let's we don't hear anything, no wet guitar or amp, but can you hear my voice at least? Can't hear anything. Voice, yes, no guitar. That's odd. Let's try this. Can you hear me now? Voice is very quiet. Let's turn up my voice a little bit. How's my voice now? And then can we hear any guitar? Give me all the feedback that you can, guys. Let's click on automatically adjust mic volume. No voice is higher, no guitar. That's weird because it's all going through the same thing. Huh. That is absolutely the oddest thing. Because I can hear it just fine in here, but you guys can't hear any guitar at all, right? Well, this sucks. Welcome to the first live stream of 2021, everybody, where Sean has a new live stream set up. The wife got me a little HDMI to USB converter thing. So right now I'm using one of my Canon XC10 cameras as a webcam, which is pretty cool. So that's why the picture looks a little bit better than it usually does, and it's not going in and out of what you call it, focus, and the lighting's not all weird. But I have no idea why you can't hear. I have no idea why you wouldn't be able to hear the guitar. That makes absolutely no sense. Huh. So weird. Because with all the, yeah, it's like I'm getting all of that. Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That is so weird. Because basically, this is nothing different than what we used to have on the stream. It's all running through my recording interface and everything like that. It's just going into the computer. The only thing that's different is the camera, because now I have this little, converter box. So that's all fine and dandy. Well, dang, that sucks. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm not entirely sure why, because I hear everything on the guitar. Weird. That's odd. Well, we're going to have to do some figuring things out, but this is the first test run, really, with the new setup, where I'm using StreamYard to do all this sort of thing right now. I've tried the camera with, like the native YouTube streaming thing, which might work a little bit better. I might just, what it probably is, I just need to do a whole, like, computer restart and everything, and it's ghosts in the machine kind of thing probably. But since you guys can't hear the guitar, which sucks, I'm just gonna take these headphones off, since I don't. Oh well, we'll figure this out. This is sort of an ever evolving process. Welcome to do I have more than one mic running? Yeah, I have my vocal mics up here. You can't see it. It's out of the shot right here. And then you might be getting the I don't know why you would be getting the camera microphone, because that's not the audio that I have selected. I hear Sean talking in my left ear. You should be hearing me talk in both your ears. Because this is not boding well for the setup. Let's see. So I turned off stereo audio. So, you know what? Since I have stereo audio turned off, let's see if we can, let's see if that fixes things. Is my voice still okay? But I turned off stereo audio. So let's try this again. So did you hear guitar, like, other than me strumming acoustically? Still hear the voice and no guitar, because the sound is distorted and has echo right now. Well, this makes absolutely no sense. Everything on the left only, strumming sound. I have no idea why that is. Like I said, it probably has to do. I probably just have to do a complete, like, restart of the interface, restart of the computer, probably some stupid ghost in the machine thing. And we're already rolling right now, so can't really do that right now. But hey, what are you gonna do? Now it's time to drink the scotch, because we're gonna need that right now. Jesus. But anyway. I hear your voice. Nothing. The force is not with you. The force is not with me today, I guess. Ugh, man. What do you know? Well, at least I got some video filming stuff done this week, and the force was with me there. Those went really smoothly, and I think those videos are going to turn out really nice. And I redid my pedal board today for the P-dubs stuff. So that's sounding pretty good. This is why I hate technology. You're right, Ben. This is one of those reasons why you should hate technology. I'm gonna. I liked Gillis. Damn those electrons. Exactly. I like that. That's a lot of fun. But yes, this is why I hate technology. I completely agree with you. This is why I just crank an amp or two. Yeah, right. Ugh, man. Yeah, the thing with StreamYard and the whole, like, way that their audio is handled, though, because up until the end of last year, I was just it was the laptop on a platform and then using the laptop mic, but it didn't matter what I did, it just always completely obliterated how the mic picked everything up. It compressed and it buffered so much. It's just weird. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. But at least everything else this week worked out okay for the most part. We had some craziness here in the United States Capitol happening yesterday, which we're not going to talk about here because this isn't a politics channel, and I don't like talking about politics. That's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about guitar stuff and whatnot. And there's even been some guitar stuff happening this week. Yeah, let's see. I finally shot some stuff with the Fender American Pro 2 Strat. I shot some stuff with the Black Spirit 200. Yeah, so we're going to definitely be seeing some of those videos. Should be coming out, let's see, probably within the next couple of weeks. There's some more stuff picking up as we get closer to the time that would be NAMM time. So I am going to be very, very busy over the course of the next few weeks. And eventually we'll have a demo of the Ormsby 7-string as well. So yeah, man, there's a lot going on right now. A lot going on. Hey, Laz is here. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Terry's 3Gs is here. Who else have we got here in the chat? JJ's House of Jams. Howdy, neighbor. We got Gillis DeBilio here. Jay Steen has joined in. Oh, boy. Well, it's good to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me for the first 2021 SPJ Live. 2021 is going to be an interesting year. I think it's going to be a good year. I got a lot of good feelings. I got a lot of bad feelings about things, but the good far outweigh the bad. Thank you, Terry. I'm glad you like the Ormsby. I'll give you guys a little up close and personal look at that. See, this is one of the benefits of the new setup, is that I actually have a good camera so that you can actually like see this stuff and it's not like, you know, terrible. There's the back. Yeah, that picture just looks like 10 million times better than what we had. There's your roasted maple neck. There's your Wenge fingerboard. And I do love the badge on the headstock. It just looks really, really cool. Yeah, so this thing is awesome. Looking forward to it. Boy, oh boy. There's a lot that we can get to. And, you know, we might as well talk about the elephant in the room, because it's all really the guitar-related internet can talk about, it seems, these days. JJ's got the right idea. It is 7-string heaven here these days. And I will definitely agree with you on this. It has, this has basically been the guitar that I pick up almost every day now. Just so that I can get used to playing the 7-string again. For so long, having my previous 7-string, I'd pick it up for maybe 5 minutes to try to, you know, get something out of it. And I just couldn't do anything with it because it wouldn't work with me. I was always fighting it. Now having a 7-string that I don't have to fight in order to get what I want out of it, I feel a lot better about my chances with being able to take advantage of everything that it has to offer. So it certainly is heaven as far as 7-string guitars go right now. And it sounds good with a lot of other stuff. Oh no, it's trouble time. There is the elephant in the room right there. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Janice has popped in. How you doing, Janice? Great to see you. Hope you're having yourself an awesome new year so far. Laz is lurking while cooking, and he is cooking what? Where did it go? Where did it go? I don't know. He said he was cooking something. There it is. Chicken popper kesh. Good idea. Good idea. Probably going to be making something chicken related tonight for dinner myself. You know. Anyway, next guitar I'm getting us Jack the Rabbit 7-string multi-scale Court. Multi-scale Court. You know, the Court brand has actually put out some stuff that doesn't look like it's gonna suck. which is a nifty thing. They started putting out some stuff, I think, a couple of years ago at NAMM that was actually pretty exciting looking. But there are a lot of people that don't exactly have high opinions of Court, and it's to be understood, you know. Ah, Simon Lees is here, afternoon from sunny Australia, putting together a pedal board. Simon, cheers to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope you're having an awesome day. I myself was putting together a pedal board earlier, so good luck to you with that. Ah, Bootlegger Guitar in the house. How you doing, my friend? Chuck Wilson, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having an awesome day, and the new year has been treating you well so far. So, dude, we need to talk about this because what Chuck just said, G and MB, with a question mark. Well, that's kind of the reason that we're all here, because as is per the usual, the internet is abuzz with this whole idea that Gibson and Mesa Boogie are now essentially the same company. But that's not really how it is, because the internet doesn't understand corporate business normally. So a lot of people are they're just kind of talking out their behinds right now, which everybody is liable to do at least one point in their life, myself included. But I thought, because I am a press outlet for a lot of different things, I'm actually on the mailing list for Gibson's PR emails. And I got a PR email about it, and guess what? You guys are going to get to see it with me. Now, I'm bringing this in for a very specific purpose. The main and the specific purpose that I'm bringing it in for is that all the questions that you pretty much have about what this is going to mean are all right here in the press release. And because nobody is bothering to actually share the press release, and since I have the press release, I'm going to share it with you. We're going to dissect it a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to give you my perspectives on how I feel about the acquisition of Mesa Boogie by Gibson. And let's just dive right into it. Let's put that up full on the screen. And yeah, Gibson announces the addition of Mesa Boogie. Two iconic brands come together. That's our tagline. And we start. Gibson, the iconic American instrument brand, is pleased to announce the addition of Mesa Boogie, one of the most respected and prestigious brands in sound and guitar amplification, to their family of brands. Now, I want to start out by saying that this is the most significant acquisition that Gibson Brands as a corporate entity has made in the recent history. Of course, they've acquired other brands over the years, but to me, this is the first guitar-centric brand that they've acquired over the course of the last 10 to 15 years that really has, it's guitar-centric. It's not home audio, it's not pro audio, it's not consumer audio visual things. This is a guitar brand. This is a guitar accessory, a guitar amplifier company. Mesa Boogie, the original boutique guitar amplifier company, was founded 51 years ago by Randy Smith, who is responsible for creating the groundbreaking circuits that drive some of the most influential sounds of our time. Randy will join Gibson as master designer and pioneer of Mesa Boogie and beyond. In his new role, Randy will continue his passion for tube technology and his vision for building handcrafted, high-performance amplifiers that continue to redefine how we experience sound across Mesa Boogie and Gibson. Now, I want to stop right there because this answers a lot of questions about what exactly is the involvement of the people who already run the company. So we can see right here, Gibson is already saying that as part of this acquisition, he is going to be playing a role in the company. He is actually going to still maintain a level of control over the Mesa Boogie brand, as it were. I get the feeling from the way that this is worded, we can look at it less like, say, like Gibson acquiring other brands that they have done in the past, They have acquired Trace Elliott over the years. They acquired Steinberger, of course. This more feels closer to what we've experienced with Yamaha acquiring Line 6, and even as Quentin is pointing out, everybody's saying Michael Soldano called ha. It's a little like that too, where we'll probably see him still designing stuff with a crew of people for Boogie, but we could see a lot of Gibson resources, the Gibson capital, the Gibson money funneled into Mesa Boogie to help further production capabilities and parts acquiring. So it doesn't feel to me like this is a let's acquire the brand to essentially kill it off. This is more two brands coming together to work together. Let's go ahead and continue reading on in the press release. Beginning in a converted dog kennel under the redwoods of Northern California, Randy Smith was wrenching amplifiers for all the San Francisco area bands for over 50 years ago when vintage gear was new. Being close to so many great players from Bloomfield to Santana and Rolling Stone, Smith learned the virtues and shortcomings of the era's gear and began a process of innovation that continues today. Mesa Boogie, the company Smith founded, was the first boutique amplifier builder and revolutionized amp performance in ways that impacted rock music worldwide. Simultaneously respecting and improving the vintage classics he grew up with, Smith, through Mesa Boogie, pioneered the invention of high gain. Now, this is just a portion of the press release that is just giving you a little bit of background of the brand that has been acquired. Quote, at Gibson, we are all about leveraging our iconic past and leaning into the innovative future, a quest that started over 100 years ago with our founder, Orville Gibson, says James J.C. Curley, president and CEO of Gibson Brands. Today, the quest continues with the addition of Mesa Boogie into the Gibson Brands family, along with the visionary leadership of Randy Smith and his team, who, for the past 50 years, have created an iconic and innovative brand that has stood the test of time. This is the perfect partnership based on our collective professional experiences and passion for sound. So here we have a little quote from CEO JC of Gibson Brands. Now, this is very typical of press releases, getting the head of the company, the figurehead of a company, to comment on what is taking place. And very often, just like is here, and is just like I've seen, not just with other Gibson Brands press releases in the years that I've been getting them, but also other companies as well, those quotes tend to be very fluff. And that's okay. That's what they're designed to do. A press release is designed not only to get you press coverage, but it's also designed to get people excited within the press world about what it is that the press release is referring to. So there's no deception here. This is all very par for the course PR work. A lot of people have commented on things such as, there was the Gibson Pivots press release that came out. A lot of people were just like, this is just fluff speak. This is just this is just that. Basically the general, let me get on the Gibson bashing boat. But the practice has been there for decades. It's public relations, and this is they're following a formula here, and it's nothing new. Let's keep going on. So, I'm 75 years old and still at work every day, says Randy Smith, founder of Mesa Boogie. This is my art, and many of our crew have worked along my side for 30 to 40 years. As we witnessed JC and Cesar transform Gibson, we saw kindred spirits sharing common values and a fierce dedication to quality. Today, Gibson's guitars are the best ever, and when they asked if we'd like to become Gibson's custom shop for amplifiers, we envisioned a perfect collaboration that would expand our outreach while preserving our legacy beyond my time. Gibson realizes the unique value of what we've all built together, and this next chapter in the Mesa Boogie story is a continuation of that dream. I'm so fortunate for this partnership with the new Gibson after 50 years of doing what I love. It's been the ride of my life, and it ain't over yet. So here we again have another quote from another party to the agreement, talking about how great this is going to be for him. Now, this is really where I feel like we're getting the most probably honest approach of why this is happening right now. Randy Smith, the founder of Mesa Boogie, is 75 years old. He can't possibly want to do this forever. 75, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's like, you know, nobody is guaranteed how long they're going to live. I think somewhere in the Bible it references 70 years minimum. It is something that people use to judge as like that's old age back in the Bible days. I can't confirm nor deny that. I'm not that learned in it, so you know, don't at me, bro. But 70 years is and working consistently for that long, you gotta feel like the guy is he's starting to feel his age a little bit. He's starting to feel the years of toil, the years of work that he's put into this stuff. And quite frankly, he's probably deserved a little bit of rest. Now, what's interesting is that he points out how Gibson approached Mesa to be sort of their custom shop of amplifiers and how this is a collaboration. So one of the things that we might be getting out of this is we might be seeing Mesa Boogie taking on a development and design role for a series of amplifiers that is branded for Gibson. I can't confirm nor can I deny that because there's no other news about what's happening other than what you see in this press release. And we're gonna read the whole thing. So stay tuned if you want to read through the whole thing. But what I'm seeing right now is that what we're going to get is more Mesa Boogie will exist as its own entity, being funded and sort of built up with the Gibson infrastructure that's being put in place. They're going to get some money. They're going to get to some resources. They're probably going to take on some new design ideas. They might even be, who knows? It would actually be kind of cool to see some of the older, like tinier Gibson combo amps maybe get a little bit of a revamp and a reissue with Mesa, with their construction and their development and their design elements that make their stuff last as long as it does. Might even see something like that, you know. Right now it's so, the thing about all this speculation right now is it's so early in this life cycle of this thing that we really don't know. A lot of the other acquisitions we've seen that Gibson make were under the former leadership, and although there are some things about the former leadership and the current leadership having in common, which I won't go into in this particular live stream, it's safe to say that we just don't know. And let's just sit back and watch and see what's going to happen. So let's continue reading the press release. Mesa Boogie, led by Randy, has been in service to sound without compromises since the very beginning, and that's the perfect fit for us, adds Cesar Gaikian, I think is how he pronounces it, of Gibson Brands. We're looking forward to being the best custodians of Mesa Boogie's iconic heritage that we can be, and at the same time, a steward to its future. We are honored that Randy and Mesa Boogie team have trusted us to lead Mesa Boogie into the future. Together, we will continue to pursue our mutual quest of sound, quality, and craftsmanship, and to push the boundaries of how guitar sound is delivered and experienced. Again, one of the main people involved in this whole thing, giving you a nice, positive, get excited quote. Quote, this is very exciting. I can't think of a better company to carry the Mesa Boogie torch and can't wait to see what we can do together, says Adam Jones, guitarist for the multi-platinum and multiple Grammy award-winning band Tool. I've been using Mesa Boogie amplifiers and cabinets for a long time. I use them at home, in the studio when I record, and on stage when I play live. They go across all of my needs. I've been using Gibson guitars together with Mesa Boogie amps on stage with the Roots for well over a decade, says Captain Kirk Douglas, guitarist for the legendary multiple Grammy award-winning hip-hop group The Roots. Recently, I've been doing a lot of home recording with my Mesa Boogies. It's exciting to see the two brands joining collaborative forces. And then we have a nice little photo of Randy Smith back in the day, and a more recent photo of Cesar, Randy, and JC with a bunch of Gibson guitars and Boogie amplifiers from the new stuff right down to older stuff. And then at the end of press releases, you usually get a little bit of a rundown of the parties that are mentioned in this particular press release. We're getting a little short bio of Mesa Boogie up there. And then finally at the end, we have a short little bio on Gibson guitars. So okay, let's let me talk about how I feel about this personally. Um, so obviously, anybody who's watched my channel for any length of time, that's nice. Johnny Walker Black Label, for those of you wondering. So it should come as no surprise to anybody watching this channel for any length of time that I love my Gibson guitars. Over the course of my life, I've owned 6 or 7 different Gibson brand instruments, from Les Paul Studios to Epiphones, and going right down to like starter Epiphones and playing nice, decently affordable USA made Gibsons. So I am a Gibson Guitars fan. Those guitars informed the music that really influenced me to want to start playing guitar. Incidentally, Mesa Boogie amplifiers were the amplifier of choice at the time and in the music, the rock music, that got me into the idea of playing guitar when I got started. That is, of course, you know, late 90s, early 2000s hard rock and new metal. But back then it was basically a PRS Custom 22 or PRS Custom 24 into a dual or triple rectifier. So my first thought when I got this press release was, this is kind of an odd pairing. Mesa and Gibson to me don't really exist in the same world. I've never played a Boogie amplifier that I honestly felt like it was enjoyable to play. I've always kind of fought Boogie amplifiers a little bit. So my opinion is not necessarily of Boogie amplifiers is not necessarily the highest. My opinion on Gibson guitars, of course, seems to sort of take a dip and a twirl depending on, you know, the day of the week. They start making great guitars again. They start making good guitars again. The Epiphone stuff is killing it, and then they get into a bunch of legal issues that I thought were going to go away when, you know, Henry J. and his regime were ousted by the bankruptcy courts. So, you know, I can't really say that I'm not going to say that I'm not excited about this. And I'm not going to say that I am excited about this. What I am going to say is I'm okay with this, and for very specific reasons. The first off being that this is the first outside brand acquisition that Gibson has made since Henry J.'s regime was ousted. They went through the bankruptcy proceedings, and they have new leadership in place. Now, what's different about the people that are running the company now is that they all seem like they are players. Their level of skill is not important to this. What is important to this, though, is that there are players within the leadership of the company. You know, JC is a player. I know he's talked about it many times. Cesar is a player. He is all over Instagram playing Gibson guitars all the time. You can check out his feed. He often features some really cool stuff. And then, of course, we have Mark Agnesi, who is a player and is a good player at that. So I don't get the feeling like there aren't players in the Gibson leadership. There are players. And to me, this is a very significant guitar-oriented brand acquisition. But at the very same time, the way both Gibson and Mesa Boogie are talking about it is it doesn't feel like a 100% grab the brand and strangle it. Instead, this feels very close to Line 6 being acquired by Yamaha, or Soldano being acquired by Boutique Amps Distribution. The team that works on the products that people like and want to see are still going to be there. But having the support of a large corporate entity, and one that, despite everything that the internet wants to say negative about them still sells guitars. The name still has high value and is at right now, all the legal issues aside, is making better instruments than they've made in the than anything in the previous 10 years. So I can't say that this is altogether a bad thing, but I can't say that this is altogether a good thing, because this is all speculation at this point. We don't know if this is going to kill Mesa Boogie like the predominant opinion on the internet seems to be. And when it's written on the internet, of course it has to be true, right? So, but let's assume that it's not going to be real, and let's form our own opinion on it. Based on what I've read here in this press release, and hopefully what you've heard, is that the situation is not what most people are assuming it to be. We're going to see Boogie having a separate entity sort of feeling to it, but Gibson is going to be channeling funds into that entity to make it better, to give them more resources, to expand their capabilities, and hopefully it will see a little bit of cross-pollination in that Boogie will develop products for Gibson, and Gibson will funnel money into Boogie for Boogie products. So, I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again because it's only day one, people. We've literally only known that this was going to be happening yesterday. News came out on Monday, and, Quentin makes a really funny comment. Gibson and Mesa Boogie, riots at the Capitol, coincidence? I think not. I think no, I'm not going to go there. Not going to go there. Chris Kane is in the house. How you doing, my friend? Good to have you here. I'm not quite sure which points you're talking about, but if you agree with me, that's nice. It makes me feel a little smart. So thanks for that. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you giving your thoughts. So yeah, I don't hate this. I don't hate the idea of Gibson and Mesa Boogie being under the same corporate umbrella. If Boogie is going to be allowed to do what Boogie has done for years, then fine. Let them keep doing it. Let them do exactly what they've done and hopefully make it a little bit better. One of my biggest gripes with Boogie over the course of the last 10 years has just been their amplifiers have felt so behind the time. There are so many amplifiers out there that are so much better suited to modern music. Case in point being, someone said to me, like, I just love my Rev more and more every day. To me, Rev is taking over a lot of the market share that Boogie could have potentially had for a modern high-gain amplifier that works with so many different styles of music and has so many different kinds of sounds. One of the things that I always heard about Boogies growing up was that they had these absolutely raging high gain sounds, but the clean sounds were really, really nice. And it's true. The Boogie clean sound has always been very, very good. The gain sounds are always like, meh, what are you going to do? So, that's neither here nor there. And Rev has kind of taken that idea and made their own formula that has worked exceedingly well for them. Like, exceedingly well for them. Their clean tones sound great. The high gain stuff is just... Man, high gain Rev stuff is just so good. So, I can't say that this is a bad move, but we're just going to have to wait and see, guys, about what this means. So, Chuck brings up a good point. Two very good yet expensive companies. Exactly. Gibson guitars these days aren't getting any cheaper. And last I checked, we're only getting $600 in stimulus checks here in the States. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't really know. But then on the flip side, Boogie amps have always been prohibitively expensive for me. The only time I ever entertained buying a Boogie was when I was 18 and I graduated high school, and my family gifted me just a bunch of money as a graduation present. I had like 4 to 5K to like just find an amplifier with. And I did go to Mesa Boogie Hollywood, RIP, and I tried everything, and nothing worked for me. They were okay, but they were just okay. Ah, look at this Dirty Mark showing up. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you, my fellow wrestling cohort, Garguts Entertainment. Sweet Chin Music going to be making a comeback real soon, folks. You're going to want to stay tuned for that if you want some wrestling with your a side of pro wrestling with your guitar nerdery. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, guys. It's not a bad idea. And the way that this press release outlines everything, it seems like it's going to work. But this is only day 2. What are we going to do? We're just going to have to sit back, relax, wait and see what happens. I ain't mad about it. It is what it is. I'm not a huge Boogie amp fan. It's probably not going to change until they release an amp that speaks to me. But I'm not going to hate on Gibson for, wanting to bring this brand into their fold. Because also, let's consider this. And this is the final thing I'll say on this. People have been criticizing Gibson for their brand acquisitions and how they basically acquire brands and kill them off. I understand that. We've seen it happen with Trace Elliott. We've seen it happen with Orange for a little bit. Yes, as a matter of fact, Orange at one point was part of the Gibson family of brands. Look at the book of Orange, and you can read the whole story on that. And Steinberger. But I'm going to say this. Trace Elliott is no longer owned by Gibson. It's owned by somebody else. And I don't see anybody getting all excited about Trace Elliott stuff. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't see people getting all jazzed about any new products that they're putting out. And I think at one point they were owned by PV. They might even still be owned by PV. But it's... I don't necessarily notice anything that they're doing. Who else? Let's see. With Steinberger, Steinberger was very niche of an instrument. The life cycle of the headless guitar when Steinberger was originally around was pretty short. Now we're starting to see a resurgence of the headless guitar in popularity. We're starting to see more companies adopt to that idea because they're more easily portable, they're lightweight, they're ergonomic, and honestly, you don't really need all that much to make a guitar sound good. As a matter of fact, we have Chuck from Bootlegger here in the chat. We're going to be, seeing, he's got a headless guitar, and he's shared it on Facebook that he's working on another headless guitar, and I've seen the drawings for it, and hey, dude, headless guitars are cool. I honestly, before I bought the Ormsby, I was considering a Strandberg. Headless guitars. And Strandberg guitars are phenomenal guitars. Headless or not, they are phenomenal guitars. So nowadays, it's like, okay, Steinberger, they didn't do anything with it, but for a long time, headless guitars were just so out of fashion. Who cares? Orange is now back with the family that started it, and they're doing better than they've ever done. Fantastic. Now we have all the other brands that Gibson acquired before they went into bankruptcy were all brands that they shouldn't have been focusing on. They wanted home, consumer audio, and pro audio. That's not what Gibson does. When people see the name Gibson, they don't think audio. They think guitars. And that, if anything, is what Gibson needs to focus on now with if they're going to acquire more brands. Gibson, Epiphone, Kramer, Mesa Boogie, if that's their big four brands, then they're going to be just fine. Gibson guitars are always going to have value. People are always going to want them. No matter how you feel about the company, they don't fucking care about it. And you know what? The people that want to spend money on Gibson guitars don't fucking care about it either. So just get over it. Epiphone. Arguably right now, the Epiphone stuff that I have played over the course of the last 2 years alone is the best Epiphone stuff I've played in my entire life. They are actually using Epiphone as sort of a proving ground for stuff that may be a little too far-reaching and far-looking ahead for Gibson. So use Epiphone, your mid-priced and low-priced brand, as a way to test these ideas, test the waters with the marketplace, so that maybe eventually you can implement some of that stuff into the high-dollar Gibson stuff. Kramer, the 80s and nostalgia alone, I mean, we see it with Cobra Kai right now. The 80s nostalgia is a real thing. The 90s nostalgia is a real thing. Kramer nostalgia is a real thing. With the recent passing of Eddie Van Halen, more people are gravitating towards that kind of playing that we saw start to come through Ed and into the 80s and start to, become a little bit more popular. It's classic, but I will say those Kramers just play incredibly well. And then finally, if we stop at 4, Mesa Boogie, an amplifier company with a storied history, with lots of big buzz around it, which is great. But maybe they need to start thinking about some things to bring their amplifiers from yesterday into the future. It's only a matter of time. But if those are the big 4 brands that Gibson wants to focus on, between electric guitars, acoustic guitars, from high dollar custom shop stuff costing $10,000 to $13,000, all the way down to maybe like $1,500 to $1,700 at the low end, then Epiphone topping out at maybe $1,100, $1,200 down to like $100. Then you have Kramer, a very niche kind of marketplace guitar, but decently priced. And then you have Mesa Boogie making amplifiers. The only thing Gibson has to do to really be on the Fender level is start building pedals, and I don't really want them to start doing that right now. I want them to focus on other things. So I don't hate this. I say do it, and I say everybody just shut their mouths, sit back, relax, have a drink, and just see what happens. This could be great. This could be terrible. But who can say whether it's going to be or not right now? This is day 2, people. Come on. Come on. Bootlegger's asking, what do you all think of Vaccaro guitars? I don't actually know anything about that guitar brand, so I'm going to look it up when we're done with this. And he also owned a Lone Star combo. Sounded amazing, but was 200 pounds. Any Second Story Club made it an impossible amp. Dude, I remember those Lone Star combos. The cleans on that were great. I was not a huge fan of the gain sounds, but the clean tone was great. Ben is saying, isn't Trace Elliott stuff geared more for bass players these days? Yes, as a matter of fact, they are mostly bass amps these days. I haven't seen bass and acoustic guitar amplifiers, I think. I haven't seen anything for electric in quite some time. As a matter of fact, one of my good friends has an old Trace Elliott guitar amp that once belonged to Joe Walsh. It sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Bootlegger saying, Headless, either you love it or hate it. I love it, always have. Yeah, and it's like we look at guys like Johnny Winter. He had a headless guitar for quite some time. So, it is an acquired taste, but I definitely feel like the overall acceptance of it is becoming a lot more than it used to. So that should be interesting to see. Hey, Bent Tom is here. How you doing, buddy? I like the change of your avatar to Ed using his guitar as a table and tapping on that. That's fun. So yeah, guys, I say, give it some time. Just give it some time. We'll see how Gibson does with Boogie. We'll see how Boogie does with Gibson. Obviously, we don't have the NAMM show this year, so I'm not going to be going up to Anaheim to talk to anybody about it. hopefully I can get somebody from Gibson on soon. You know, we all love our good buddy Aljon Go. I'm hoping to catch up with him pretty soon. Um, and hopefully we'll be looking at some more stuff from them over the course of this year. So that's that. And just, you know, guys, just be patient with it. We'll see how things go. Don't break out the jump to conclusions, Matt. Just let it roll across the floor, through the hall, and out the door. It's not your money, so you don't need to worry about it. So that's that. And it brings me to something that we need to talk about, and this is going to be it. And then we're going to say goodnight. So a while back, before the end of the year, I had talked to you guys about how I was wanting to handle live streams over the course of 2021 and how things were going to be changing on the channel. So I've come to the decision that I will admit to you guys that there was a point last month where I was considering canceling the live streams entirely. I had just gotten to a point where they were a little bit too stressful for me to want to do consistently, and I kind of was in a funk. And what can I say? And I thought to myself of just canceling the live streams entirely. You'll be happy to know that I have decided not to do that. However, I have decided that in 2021 we are going to be cutting back on the live streams, and I just decided this yesterday, as a matter of fact, before we did this one this week, and it couldn't have come at a better time. So what we're going to do in 2021, and for the foreseeable future, as a matter of fact, is every first and third Thursday of every month we are going to have SPJ Live. And we're doing this for a couple of reasons. We're going to do this, one, so that I can try to get some guests to join me on the show on a more regular basis. People from companies that I respect that I might want to interview, or people from companies that I'm just friends with and we want to hang out and we want you guys to share in that experience and that fun. That'll give me more time to do legwork to do that. However, in the instance where I might not be able to get a guest and it's just going to be me, I want a little bit more time to come up with a plan of attack and a show outline for us to follow, so that we don't necessarily feel like I'm just sitting in front of this camera BSing with you guys for an hour. And I want to actually give you guys some substance to this content, much like I tried to do today, rather than actually, you know, just sitting here like, hi, and all that stuff. So first and third Thursdays of every month, SPJ Live will be happening. I highly recommend that you guys share those links with your friends. Bring more people here. Let's grow the audience a little bit. Get everybody more active in the community. Ask questions. Come with questions if you have them, because I am happy to answer them. But it also helps me out a lot, because I just found out last night, I've been asked by my church, we're going to be having a really extensive weekend of live stream services next week. Next weekend, as a matter of fact. And I've just been asked by the worship leader at my church if I would play on Friday and Saturday night service. So I will be very preoccupied with that. I will be learning a bunch, like I think I have to learn like 6 songs for this next weekend. And so I want to make sure that I do that justice and I do a good job with that, because that's what is deserved in that context. I don't want any shortcuts with that one. So even if I hadn't had, it just kind of works out really for me that I'm going to be playing next weekend, and I've decided to do this first and third. And just seeing you guys saying that this is going to be a good thing, Gillis, I really appreciate that. Better quality before quantity. Exactly. You know, it's like today, I feel like my hope is that by sharing with you the actual press release that talks about this whole Gibson and Mesa Boogie merger, partnership, whatever you really want to call it, what it actually is going to mean. But let's also talk about it from someone. I've spent a decade of my life working in the musical instrument industry. I'm not just some guy sitting in front of a camera with an opinion. And I have a lot of friends who are just like this too, that they've been working in this industry and their opinion is much more educated than, somebody just, making a shit post on Reddit. So, no offense to Reddit, because I like Reddit a lot. So, that is what it is. But I'm excited for 2021, guys. I really am. And it's my hope that over the course of this year, we can continue to grow this little community. Our little corner of the internet is going to grow. We can bring more people in here. And ultimately, my number one desire for 2021 for you guys and for me is that we can all, despite the difficulties of 2020, despite what we all went through, and trust me, we all lost a lot last year. I've been thinking a lot about you guys that suffered in 2020. And even before that, I've been thinking about you guys. Been thinking about the things that I lost, the things that I wasn't going to be able to do, the things that I learned, So my hope for 2021 is that we can gain a little bit of what we lost, but that we're also going to come out the other side of this year 10 times better than we were even going to start 2020 with. And all I ask is that you guys join me for the ride. All I ask is that you bring some more people who you might feel like they need a little bit of an uplift. Let's lift each other up. Let's have a good time. Let's enjoy this instrument that we love so dearly. Let's talk about gear. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about things that are happening in our little music world. And let's all be excellent to each other, as the movie says. So yes, no SPJ Live next week, but the week after, SPJ Live will be right back here, same bat time, same bat channel. I want to thank you all for joining me for the first SPJ Live of 2021. I know this year is going to be a little bit different, but trust me, we're going to have some fun. And I just want you guys to join me for the ride. So please click the thumbs up button, make it a thumbs up, like it, and all that stuff. Share a link to the channel with your friends so that we can grow the community here. Click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. There will be some cool videos coming up very, very soon. And don't worry, season premiere of Stompbox Saturday is imminent. Trust me, gonna be sooner than you think. All right, my friends, until next time, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, wishing you all out there great tone, good health, and of course, happy stomping. I will see you all in 2 weeks. Cheers, my friends, and God bless.